Hello, Clint here, Crimson Landscape, here to talk about your front landscape design. All right, you have a unique design, so this may be a long video as I explain kind of the high level stuff and how we're going to install the drainage and all that good stuff. If you're a first time guest seeing one of our videos and you have questions or want more information, you can check us out at crimsonlandscape.com. All right, so I'm going to start on the right side of the house. Right side of the house is simple gravel. This anti-erosion gravel. We'll put a geotextile down, which is a fancy word for landscape fabric, and the gravel on top. That should take care of most of your erosion problems over here. You will just have to make sure a couple times a year you de-weed it and clean it. We'll capture gutters like I talked about when I was on site, and all the gutters will be captured, all the water will be captured, and all that water will be run through the wall, so all your roof water runoff would be captured. Then we dig out behind the wall here, mainly in the front. Find the weep holes in the wall, add gravel to those weep holes just to make sure water flows through, so there's no drama with water flowing through the wall. As I talked about, the nemesis of any retaining wall is pressure building up behind the wall from too much water collecting behind the wall. So we just got to make sure we have a path of least resistance for water to pass through the wall as effectively as possible. And I'm referring to any water that natively lands on your yard, i.e. sprinkler system water and or rainwater. We're going to capture, in my plan, all the roof water will be captured. Okay, so plant perspective on the side of the house here, we have a Turk's cap right here. That's a Turk's cap. Giant liriope. These are wood ferns. In the back, we have endless summer hydrangeas. They'll come pink, but we can put some augmentation in the soil that will cause them to turn a bluish color. Mine are blooming right now, and they're absolutely gorgeous. The beautiful thing about the endless summer is you'll get a couple blooms throughout the summer season. Then in front here, because it's shallow, how shallow the tree roots are, I did nandinas. Then here I did a ground cover called a variegated liriope that it serves two purposes. One, it brings color to this space. As you can see, lots of green here, and this is a two-tone color. The second is it'll do a better job in this location of holding the dirt in place to mitigate erosion. The exact location of the steel edge border is TBD. It'll be steel edge will come a rust or a steel color that'll rust a nice natural patina color, and it fades into the landscape. Then from a grass perspective, it'll be Zoysia Palisades will be the grass I recommend. We could do St. Augustine if you like, your choice, but I recommend Zoysia Palisades. A couple boulders here. Boulders is where the steel edge meets. It's not a very clean intersection, so we use a boulder as to clean up the intersection. On this side over here, because of the way your yard is laid out and how crazy your root structure is of this tree, we're doing gravel across here to kind of fill in where those roots are. The exact location of this gravel is to be determined based on how the root structure is laid out, but this is pretty close. We'll run a border over here. The border will terminate somewhere into a tree root, then everything will fill in with gravel. We can run a piece of steel edge through here and terminate it up the house. Come back around here and use the boulder as our junction point to hold where everything kind of meets. Then over here on the left side, of course, plants. So endless summer hydrangea. Again, this is a dwarf Yulepon holly. This front plant here is a giant liriope, just so something that pops at the green in the gravel. Then here's a bridal wreath spirea. It's a really pretty plant that blooms a white bloom in spring. Pop of color here. I needed something that also has a shallow root structure due to the roots in this area, so I did daylilies, one of my favorites. Side of the house here is what's this called? Turk's cap. These are variegated liriope again. You have to have a 3-foot clearance in front of the meter to meet code, so I just did this as a filler. How this is going to lay out is to be determined. I don't think this exactly right, but we just make that small adjustment on site. We can have mulch go up to the driveway if you want, or we can do gravel along the driveway just in case you accidentally miss and you end up driving there. It's your choice. We could do a steel edge here to separate the two, and we can have the concrete as your natural border. Some of these, like this extra steel edge here, it really just depends on how much you want to spend and how fancy you want with the borders and how much maintenance free you want and what look you're going for. Some people do the steel edge here, some people don't. We can give examples of either way. Okay, This side of the house, again, drainage is going to be the most important thing. So we're going to capture most of the drainage and we're going to send it this way and send it down. Same thing with the retaining wall. I recommend we dig out where the weep holes are. We'll add that gravel behind there where the weep holes are, just to help that water find that path of least resistance into the gravel, into the weep hole. So any native water or sprinkler water that lands in the grass area has a path off or through the wall if it does not run over the wall. All right, so here, whatever grass we do up here, we'd match down here. Same thing, whatever grass we do up here, match down here. And along the street, same thing. All the grass matches. Zoysia is, again, the most shade tolerant flavor, or St. Augustine if you want to save a few dollars. Last bit of it, of course, is lighting. Okay, so there's lights. Lights go a long way. Our lights are RGBW, which means they're a fancy term for color changing lights. You take a remote, you walk up to the light, you hit a button, it changes color. So you could do red, leave this in white, then go blue. If you're a, I don't know, Dallas Stars fan, you can do green, white, etc. Your choice. Like we do a lot for religious institutions where they do a color. So I think my church, they do red, white, and blue for all the major holidays. It's just an example. Alrighty, I think that's about it for this. Oh, the trees, we're not taking the trees out, of course. I just did not use full-size trees just so you could see the property. So let me pause here. I'm going to send this over to you. I recommend next steps is a Zoom call to walk through any changes, answer any questions you might have. Then we go on to pricing. Or if you love it and got to have it, I can go ahead and price this out as well. Again, if you're a first-time guest checking out one of our videos, you can go to our website at crimsonlandscape.com.